Hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sam Flannel, KG in the house, Spencer Rachter. And right now, as promised, we are joined by America's hero, everybody. I think that is safe to say. He took the NCAA tournament by storm. Of course, he is none other than Golden Grizzlies guard, tournament champion, hero, whatever you want to say. He is absolutely that. Jack Gohlke, our guest. Jack, what's going on, man? How are you?
Things are great, man. Thanks for having me on, Neil. I'm excited to be here with Woodward Sports and just excited to chop it up with you guys.
No, absolutely. You and I have a lot of debates in airplanes and buses all across the country. We got into a good one at Lambeau Field.
That's right.
We'll talk about that later, though. All right, man? So we got to ask you. I was there. I saw some of it firsthand. Not the game itself. The time after that, 24 hours after the game, what was that like for you?
Dude, it was absolute whirlwind. Whirlwind's the best word I can use to describe it. Just so many things coming at me from different directions. Like, I think I slept like 3-4 hours. I was probably on my phone for 12 plus hours that day, which is like triple what I'm normally like. It was crazy, dude. Just constant attention and nothing I've ever experienced before. Just to turn into an overnight sensation like that, I still haven't really grasped it. And people telling me like you're famous, like that doesn't seem true. I don't think that's true.
No, but the reality is, Jack, and here's the thing. I work with the nature of the job I do, which I'm very grateful for, is that I get to hang out with former professional athletes every single day. I'm like legitimately kind of starstruck by you, man. You are a tournament legend for life.
Yeah.
How does that actually, do you even like grasp that, or how does it feel?
Well, I mean, I appreciate you saying that. I can't say I really grasp it yet. Like, I coming off the floor, we were like, we just won a huge game. We beat Kentucky. It felt like a massive win, but it didn't feel like the whole country was watching. It felt like the city of Pittsburgh in that arena was watching, and we showed them something. But then, yeah, like once you get off and you see all the messages, you see all the tweets, the memes, all that stuff going around, it kind of started to register like, geez, all these people really know who Oakland is and know who I am, and it's really cool, but I'm not sure, like, just going around, am I going to have to take pictures everywhere I go? We'll see, I guess.
No, but you did that, though. And one of the things that really stuck out to me, Jack, was people put a video, the line of people that want to take pictures of you after we won that game. I mean, it was all the way up the first level, and people were just kind of coming down and taking pictures. You stood there you took every single picture. Yeah. Like hundreds, literally hundreds of pictures. I mean, but that's the way you are, though. Like, as a dude, like you're just a regular, you're a regular old guy. You and I, chop it up a lot about sports and stuff like that. You like the people, don't you? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just, want to show them support and appreciation because, like we were saying, this whole thing's just been crazy, and I'm just a normal guy. And I mean, if kids are gonna come up to me and ask for a picture, and that's gonna make their day, I'm more than happy to do that. Like, I know when I was a kid, I had a ton of athletes that I looked up to, and if I was able to see them and get a picture with them, that would have been something super cool for me. So, I mean, I don't feel like I'm that guy. Yeah. And maybe if other people are saying I am, like, that's really cool. But if I can help out kids or do whatever it is, I'll definitely take time out of my day to do that. I just want to make sure people appreciate it. All right. I do want to get into the game a little bit, both the games, actually. I do want to get into those. But before who was the coolest person that reached out to you directly?
Coolest? Well, obviously J.J. Watt was really cool. Yeah. I've known him, though, a little bit, just being from Pewaukee. The coolest thing for me was the Scott Van Pelt. That was really Center? Sweet
SVP.
To be on SVP with him and have him just chopping it up with him and with Coach Campy. That was really awesome.
You did the Pat McAfee show as well.
Yeah, that was really cool. I felt like I gave it back to him a little bit pretty good. So people were saying they enjoyed that. All the interviews were super cool. And just to be able to talk to people like that who I've always watched their shows and things like that. Yeah, really awesome experience.
All right, Spenny's got one for you.
Yeah, it's not about taxes, but Jack, appreciate
we'll get
you
there.
Joining the show. And on top of having one of the most iconic performances in tournament history, you have one of the most iconic lines in tournament history.
Yes,
after
sir.
the game, when you said we are not a Cinderella, and like I'm an MSU alum, I'm an MSU fan, but I was rooting for you guys so hard. When you dropped that, I was like, let's fucking go.
Hell yeah.
How did that come to you? Was it just spur of the moment, or were you practicing that? Like Neil was practicing the call?
No, I wasn't practicing it. Going into the game, I was always thinking, like, we got to come into it with an attitude that we're not the underdog. We're confident going into it, and either team can win, that type of thing. Because you can't really approach a game and go into it thinking, oh, I hope we have a 25% or a 15% chance to win this game. You can't listen to odds makers. So going into it as a team, we knew we had a great shot. I personally was going into it thinking if it's a loss, I'm going to be disappointed. So I was going into it with that attitude of a win. But once we got into that post-game interview, I was just excited. I was feeling myself a little bit, and yeah, I grabbed the mic, said we're not a Cinderella, and obviously the next game didn't go as planned, but I still stand by it. That NC State game was down to the wire, could have gone either way, and obviously if we're in the Sweet 16, I think that story would have been that much better. But yeah, I stand by it. We're not a Cinderella.
Joined by Jack Gohlke here at Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Incredible performance against Kentucky. Followed that up, made 6 threes against NC State as well. But we'll talk about the games coming up in just a couple of minutes. But Jack, I have to get a power ranking from you here of all the cool stuff. Originally, I had a power ranking list for you, but all this cool stuff that's happened to you. But let me ask you this: Antonio Brown named you, quote, the cracker of the day, unquote. You talked about that with Pat McAfee. Where does that rank? That's got to be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I would say it's real close up towards the top. Especially, like, I didn't know. AV's Twitter's just been going crazy lately. I mean, you've all seen it. And one of my teammates, Baru, he loves Antonio Brown's Twitter. So as soon as he saw that me being cracker of the day, I think made his year. So that was really cool, and to do that on the McAfee show and bring that up and have them just laughing about that. Yeah, that was definitely a cool moment, man.
Jack, I got to get into the Kentucky game a little bit more because it was such an incredible win. And, you know, Kentucky is an incredibly talented team. As you know, you played against them. They've got guys like Reed Shepherd and Rob Dillingham who you're going to be seeing on NBA floors next year, making an impact. They're going to probably both get drafted in the top 5. How does it feel that you by yourself outscored both of them in that game 32-13? That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously feels good, but maybe if they could slide me some of those NBA contracts they'll be signing, that would be nice.
Yeah, right.
But no, I mean, it was just awesome. It just comes down to I think I put in the preparation, I put in the time, and was able to seize that opportunity. Those opportunities like that where you're playing Kentucky on national TV in the tournament, I mean, that's once in a lifetime for me, and hopefully my teammates can do it again next year, but you don't get those opportunities very often. So just had to go out there and seize it, and I'm glad that we played well defensively as well to kind of slow those guys down. Obviously, they're terrific players, but just try to get in the zone as soon as that game started, and everyone did a great job feeding me the ball, realized that it was going to be my night, and from there we kind of just took off.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, IT Hip says, we love you, Jack. Amazing run. John Effing Lord, Gohlke. A lot of Gohlke in there as well. The name, image, and likeness deals that just came pouring. You have the Buffalo Wild Wings hat right there, as a matter of fact.
Damn right.
But yeah, so you have that. One that's in particular of interest to somebody in this studio as well. Spencer Raxter has been, he's lamented about his tax issues. Maybe in the future, like TurboTax could help him out, perhaps.
I mean, I think if you go to my Twitter, there's a little link in there. Just click that, go to TurboTax, and they'll get you right. I'm telling you, it'll be quick and easy.
All right.
You were doing it wrong, Spenny.
Hey, I can't argue with that.
So Jack Gohlke creates some of the biggest moments in Oakland University history, and he helps you with your tax problem.
That's American hero. If I've ever been.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's exactly what I'm saying. Jack Gohlke, our guest here. The not a Cinderella thing. And this is something, Jack, like, here's how I know what your day was like. Because I got hit up by like 15 or 20 stations. It was insane, the buzz and the drama and all that stuff that you created. But the game itself on the floor, you said we're not a Cinderella. And it was something that I talked about whenever I did interviews or talked to people about the game. Look at any measurable. Rebounds, Oakland was better. 28 minutes with the lead. Shooting the basketball, Oakland was better. Obviously shooting from 3 as well. The only issue you guys seem to have in the game was free throws, but you're able to survive it and advance. You guys were better. You were the better team. I mean, any way you want to look at it. And you coming into that game, it's almost, and you've had this really the entire time I've known, you have like almost irrational confidence.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, especially as like a shooter in particular, you kind of have to have an irrational confidence because there's going to be ups and downs. You're going to have nights where you might go 0 for 7 or whatever it may be, and you just have to have that belief that the next shot's going in no matter what, because the second you start to question yourself, things are going to go downhill for a long period of time. And against Kentucky, I mean, we stepped on the floor and right away we knew we belonged because we saw those athletes. They got 7-footers out there. They got lottery picks, all that type of stuff. And we don't have that exactly, but we knew we trusted each other so much that we weren't going to let any sort of kind of intangible thing, like, well, not intangible, I guess, but those athletic things get in our way because we had all the intangible stuff on our side. We believed in each other, trusted each other. And at the end of the day, basketball's a team game. You're not going to put a couple lottery picks out there and if they can't play together, they're not going to win together. So it all just comes down to that.
A couple other things I wanted to get into, and you're a sports fan, like you're a general sports fan. You're Bryce Drew.
Fuck the Packers.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. Like the NCAA tournament now, like the Bryce Drew shot. Jack Gohlke is going to be referred to that for the rest of time when you talk about the NCAA. Has that set in, man?
No, I mean, one thing I was telling my teammates is we were watching some of the other games, and like you see what kind of you notice on the bottom of the screen, like you see the March Madness scoreboard. Everything's been the same for so many years. And I was watching back just like the film of our game just to try to figure out kind of what we're going to do the next day. And seeing that March Madness scoreboard on the bottom, for some reason, that's what kind of made it real for me. Is like this was actually this was a tournament game. This was national TV. Seeing that on the bottom, I was like, okay, maybe this is legit. Maybe this is not a dream anymore. Maybe this is really gonna last.
Yeah, Jack, I have one. So the world now knows that you are a great 3-point shooter. When did you know that was kind of your ticket to college basketball success, shooting the 3?
To be honest, when I was a kid, I'll give you a little story here. 4th grade, first like competitive basketball team I was on. We had you don't shoot very many threes when you're in 4th grade, but we had a play called Ice Cream where we would run it for a 3-point shot every game, and we kind of alternated who shot it. Our coach was going to buy us ice cream when we finally made the shot. Later in the season, it's finally my turn. We run the play. I make the shot. First 3 of the season for our team. We get ice cream. We're all celebrating. But I think it all kind of started from that. I was like, oh, I can make a 3-pointer. So I just started shooting threes in my driveway and kind of getting better day by day. And, it all just kind of started when I was a little kid, to be honest.
Nice. I think what surprised me about you is the kind of threes you take. I mean, you were coming off screens looking like a white Steph out there. You made it look so easy, man. Can you speak to like what it's like to get in a zone like that, to hit 10 threes in a game? And when did you feel it was your night? After the second 3, third 3? Like, when did you feel like, okay, yeah, I got this?
It was, I mean, first off, appreciate the white Steph Curry comp. I'll take that any day of the week.
It was looking good out there, man. Pause.
I think Neil knows, like I've told him this before, and people might not believe it, but after honestly my first 2 missed shots is when I knew it was going to be a good night. And Neil knows that happened in Milwaukee too. It was one of those things where you kind of get off clean, easy looks at the beginning of the game. You don't make them, obviously you want to make them, but I was just like, hey, if I'm going to get a couple clean looks to start this game off, I'm going to get in a roll, get in a groove, and kind of just calibrate this jumper so I can lock it in and start sprinting off screens, like you said. And you kind of just ride the wave from there. My teammates got me the rock. They were sending me screens. Everything was just easy, especially in that first half. Like, you don't usually get up 13 threes and a half as a shooter like I am. So as soon as I was able to get that many shot attempts, I was like, I got to capitalize on this. I'm going to take advantage.
Damn right.
Jack Gohlke joining us here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. I have a question here from none other than Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, who's
that's pretty cool.
His usual co-host on the show. He wants to know, what's the future look like for you? And kind of a follow. There are some other questions that we'll get to in the chat. So if you guys have a question, drop it in the chat out there. But what does the future look like for you right now?
Yeah, I'm super busy right now, but I'm going to try to pursue a pro basketball career once things kind of slow down a little bit, and I'll be doing NBA workouts hopefully, and trying to do that summer experience with the NBA and kind of see how that goes. and then go from there. Maybe it's going to be overseas. Maybe it's going to be G League. Maybe things go really well and I get some sort of opportunity, but just going to keep pursuing the game of basketball. It's given me so many good things so far, and I want to see how far I can take me.
I got a team that needs your help.
Give Pat Riley his number. You know, that's a guy who
Everyone was telling me that.
steady culture, man.
Yeah.
But, Jack, I talked about the moment where you dropped the bar of We're Not a Cinderella. Another one of the most iconic moments that I thought from your performance was the Jordan shrug walking down the court. After the bank-in three off the dribble, the Jordan shrug down the court. Again, did that just come to you, or was it just a spur of moment kind of thing?
Hold on. I'll put a little spin on that. You did that on purpose, didn't you? I know you, bro. You did that. Admit it.
So Neil knows me a little too well. I make the shot, whatever. I was on the ground. I didn't even see the ball go through the net. I legitimately turned around at my bench, and I saw them all cheering. So that's when, I was like, all right, I got to pull something out here because I didn't even know it went in.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, man. You are a showman, no doubt about that. Gary McCarrick wants to know, Jack, you're a national hero. Will you participate in the college three-point contest? That's a given, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning to go to Phoenix, participate in the three-point contest. If they didn't invite me, something would be up.
No doubt. Yeah, like no doubt about that. But yeah, man, it was absolutely incredible. I do want to talk about Saturday as well. Mm-hmm. The environments that we were in, and the Oakland fans, and I mean, there was nobody left at Oakland. Everybody was down. Everybody was down in Pittsburgh. The game against NC State, and we came out there. NC State got the jump a little bit. Blake Lampman made a couple of deep threes that really. Did you get that sense that Blake Lampman kind of brought us out of that haze a little bit, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And after that, like, it was back on.
For sure. He's been steady all year, and those two big shots that he hit, like we didn't really have anything going until that point.
Yeah.
And that's just the type of player he is. He always kind of just shows up when the team needs him the most. So just another one of those moments he's had him all year that he just capitalizes on and makes sure we all feel more comfortable in that situation.
Art Vandelay. Jack, go play in Europe. The ladies are way better there anyway.
I got a buddy who's in Italy right now. He has a girlfriend, but he says there are a lot of women there if that's what I'm looking for.
Hey.
Left it out there. What do you got, Spenmo?
Hey, Jack, I'm not going to lie to you, man. Even though you're on the show and you're the hero, I got to keep it real. You aren't my favorite Golden Grizzly on the year. I'm a big Trey Townsend guy.
Yep.
I was one of the first contingents that scouted him during the Amani Bates game last year. What was it like? What's it like? Because Trey, you and Trey were going bar for bar in that game against NC State. What's it like playing with a guy who would Horizon League Player of the Year? What's Trey like off the court?
Man, Trey's my favorite player on the Golden Grizzlies, so I feel you on that. He's a tremendous dude. I mean, just super down to earth. He's in there working just like all the rest of us, and he did a lot of sacrificing this year. He could have averaged 20 plus. He could have averaged 10 plus rebounds, all that stuff, but he put his body out there on the line. I mean, you saw him at the end of the NC State game. Dude was diving on the floor left and right. Like, he's just that type of player, that type of guy. He loves his teammates. So can't say enough good things about him and just how tremendous he is as a player. He's going to take a next step and go to the next level wherever that is, and I'm super excited for him because he definitely deserves it.
Yes, Trey Townsend, another Oakland University legend, Conference Player of the Year, and the first NCAA tournament team for Oakland in over a decade. I want to ask you this too, Jack, because you were the star of the greatest sports moment in the history of Oakland University. However, there was another game, and you guys were this close to a Sweet 16. You guys lost it overtime. So a couple days after the fact, are you more grateful for the season that you had and just kind of like letting that all sink in, or are you still disappointed about that loss to NC State?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little bit of both because obviously we wanted to go to Dallas so bad and play in that Sweet 16. And me personally, I wanted to play against Marquette super bad. Obviously, being from Milwaukee, that would have been a ton of fun. But we definitely felt like we could have still made some noise in the tournament. But, I mean, we were in that locker room after the game, and we just said, man, like, we put it all on the line. We gave it absolute 100%. Obviously, there were some plays we wish would have gone our way. We wish we would have made a couple more shots. But, I mean, that's what we love about sports. Sometimes they go your way. Sometimes they don't. And you just got to live with the results as long as you prepare properly. And we know we did throughout the whole season.
I do have to ask this about the NC State game. This will be the last question on it. DJ Burns.
I was just about to go ahead.
Man.
Yeah.
That
DJ
guy.
Burns.
Dude, man, that's
What?
a human being.
He's a college Jokic, man. Like,
Dude, absolute
Jack,
hawk.
he's throwing these shots up off the top of the glass, and they're feathery soft, and they're going through, and
He can pass.
he can pass, all that kind of stuff. Trey talked about it. I think you talked about it as well. What was it like trying to get a rebound against that man?
Dude, there was one specific play towards the end of the game where they took a corner three, and I was on the opposite side of the court. So I'm trying to pursue this rebound. I turn around, try to pursue this rebound, and I just turn, and I can't even see the rim. Dude is taking up, like, I swear he's 5 feet wide. I try to get around him, and by the time I even move, he's already got the ball, puts it back in, and it was a disappointing play, but I was just like, there is absolutely nothing I could have done in that situation to get around this behemoth of a man.
That is the way to put it, man. That is absolutely the way to put it. I mean, you guys beat Kentucky, man.
Yeah.
And it was true, because I got asked that question, like, what's it like, after losing the NC State game, and I kind of described it. It's almost like a hangover. Like, you wake up and you're like, okay, like, it's all right. But then you get the sweats a little bit, and you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks we lost. But then you start to feel good again, so you're full of hope. And you're like, man, we beat Kentucky. Is it still like that? Are you still riding the waves?
Yeah, it's still a roller coaster. I was talking to a couple of my guys last night, and at first we were like, damn, that was an amazing season. Like, we accomplished all the goals that we set out at the beginning of the season. Like, you got to be loving that and stuff. And then we were like, oh, but we missed this free throw, but we missed this jumper, we missed this defensive assignment. Like, we'd be going to Dallas this week, we'd be preparing for Marquette, all this stuff. So yeah, it's just a roller coaster of what could have been, but also what we accomplished, and just back and forth, man.
40 Gumble wants to know in the Woodward Sports chat, Jack, asking on behalf of Spenny, do you watch anime? If so, what's your favorite? Are you an anime guy?
I can't say I'm an anime guy,
There
sorry.
we go.
I knew that. That's
Do you
why I
play
wanted.
Helldivers, though? No?
Can't say I do, I'm sorry.
Let's go Red Wings. There's a couple questions about my salmon jacket, which I don't get. Jack, did Neil's salmon jacket ever catch your eye running back down the floor, courtside?
Well, I already knew how good Neil was looking at it in the salmon jacket, so I didn't have to look at him during the game.
Let's go Red Wing Sparty. What size salmon jacket would DJ Burns have to wear? It's a big jacket.
Quadruple X, maybe? I don't know.
He is definitely a man. But Jack, man, I appreciate you coming out here. I know like how valuable your time is right now, and that's cool. And I did want to thank you for like a magical ride and everything that you've done for me, through all of this, what you did for Oakland, both of our alma maters, soon to be. But I really, really appreciate it, man. And good luck with everything that goes on in the future. We'll certainly be pulling for you. Yeah. And so what we got? NBA Summer League, perhaps?
I mean, that's the goal. If I could get a summer league opportunity, that would be terrific. Obviously, things are just kind of moving parts right now, so I don't really know exactly what will happen. But if I can get a chance, I'm definitely going to take it.
Shout out Buffalo Wild Wings, right? TurboTax.
Right. Check out Buffalo Wild Wings, TurboTax, UFOS, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Jack, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on, and appreciate you, Neil. You've done a lot for us in the university, and me in particular as well.
You're my guy, man. We'll be in touch. We got to get you. We'll get you back on here because you're a big football guy.
Yep.
So we're gonna get you back on here and see where that road leads.
That's perfect. I like the sound of that.